So one really important thing to consider when you're trying to figure out how to um, decrease the number of fights that you're getting in with your partner and just overall have a better, more comprehensive communication with your partner is your emotional operating window. So this concept has to do with regulation and regulating your emotions. And the idea is basically that you have this sort of emotional spectrum, and in the center of it is your emotional operating window. That's like where you are calm enough and regulated enough to be yourself, to answer questions clearly, to say what you mean. And if you're not inside your operating window, you can be too high, which would be like angry and frustrated and mean and maybe even like trying to cause hurt because you yourself are hurt. And then if you're too low, if you're on the other side of your operating window, you're sad, you're anxious, you're needy, you're clingy, you're manipulative. There's really, the farther away from your operating window you get, the more of these really negative tactics you use. And you're using them because you're trying so desperately to get back into your operating window, right? You feel anxious and like you're losing your partner and you can't get your needs met. And so you start to use your emotions to pull them back in and actually manipulate care from them, right? On the other side, you could be really angry and frustrated and feeling like there's absolutely no way you can get this other person to do what you need them to do to meet your needs and get you back to center. So you start, just like cutting them off at the kneecaps, and really just like that's when you start saying those horrible things that we all say and we don't talk about, but that when, especially when you've been together for a long time, you have almost guaranteed been in at least one of those really big fights where you've said something really unkind to your partner. So the key for preventing those incredible extremes is to pay attention to whether or not you are in your operating window before you engage. And if you're engaging and you're feeling like that need to be mean, or that need to like try to like control them or even diminish yourself. I mean, with anxious attachment, a lot of times you can, just be like, oh, okay, I have to make myself invisible. And that's not a good spot to be in either. So being centered, being calm is so important for any time you're engaging. And so this is super important for a fight, but it's also true if you just are after a fight and you need to talk about work stress or home life or anything. If you're in that operating window, you guys are going to get so much farther, so much faster, and so much more effectively. So start trying to just monitor your emotional state and just ask yourself, am I in my operating window? Can I engage in this conversation right now and stay true to who I am, who I would like to be in relationship, right? Because we've all done this where we've said something mean or acted in a way we don't like. It's not a version of ourselves we like. So asking yourself, is this how I want to show up? Is this my core self where I am grounded and I am sure that what I am saying represents who I am and how I want to show up in relationship? So try to stick to your operating window. And if you're outside of your operating window, pause. Say that, hey, I'm not regulated. I'm not inside my operating window. I just need a minute. If you've got an anxious partner, make sure you tell them that you'll come right back to the conversation. Set a time limit. Hey, I need 10 minutes. I need half an hour. And then come back once you have found that operating window.